So, what is Nara Khecara meditations that we will cover in Vajra Dhyana?
So, Nar means a human, Khechar means someone who dwells in space or moves through different realms. So, this Nar Khechar meditations are yogic and tantric techniques that Siddhas of Himalaya in Siddha tradition have developed so that the capacity of the brain and mind increases. And why do we need to increase the capacity of the brain and mind? So that we know the truth. In a very simple term, the one who has understood the difference between illusion and reality has to an extent awakened the Kundalini Shakti, the Kundalini Shakti that is in all of us. And most of the time, what we consider as a reality is just a projection or reflection of our own thoughts in the world. We see the world through our five senses. We have, to a great extent, a very balanced strength of our senses that our mind uses. Some species have one or the other sense greater than us. For example, certain birds can see better than us, certain animals can hear better than us, certain animals can smell better than us. But overall, human beings have a good balance of all the five senses. But it is still a restricted window into the reality as it is. So, to understand realities, Mahasiddhas of Himalaya in Siddha tradition have done certain experiments in themselves to develop certain techniques, certain tools and techniques so that we can develop our mind and brain in a better way so that we can understand the reality in a better way. And Nara Khecara Dhyan is all about that. How we can increase our grasping power, how we can increase our concentration and focus, how we can increase our memory and sensory perception, and also imagination. In Tantra, a lot has to do with visualization and imagination. And often one gets into Tantra practices without shaping up these basic building blocks of any Tantra practice. And Siddhas of Himalaya have developed a very systematic approach to starting any Tantra practice. And we are doing Vajra Yogini Tantra practices, Dakini practices. So we approach it in a very systematic approach as the Siddhas of Himalaya have taught us. And in that, Nara Khecara Dhyan becomes very important because it not just covers these aspects, it also covers the imagination and visualization and how to develop a great sense of imagination so that we can visualize better, because the Tantra has a lot of visualization, and somebody who has a great sense of visualization and imagination will excel in Tantra. So we cover these as a basic foundation in our practices, which not only helps everybody, but also especially for somebody who wants to do the Dakini and Vajra Yogini practices. It's very important to develop these things.
Yes. Why are we choosing to offer Vajra Dhyan, Nara Khecara Prayog or meditations as a foundation course that we have?
Yes, so all Tantra practices have a lot of mantras, mudras, visualizations, and a basic darshan philosophy. And to understand that, one has to have a sense of level of understanding and cognition and brain and mind, including imagination power and visualization power. And for that, Mahasiddhas in our tradition have developed this set of tools and techniques to develop the mind so that one can do the Tantra practice. And when we want to approach Vajra Yogini Tantra practice, it has a lot of visualization, very powerful visualizations, very powerful set of mudras and mantras, and in general, a lot of other Tantra practices around it. To be able to do that and to understand the philosophy of Vajra Yogini, the darshan of Vajra Yogini from all aspects, one requires a great capacity of brain and mind. No? To develop those neurons, Mahasiddhas have developed this Nara Khecara Vajra Dhyan Prayog, that's what we will cover. And when we also learned in our tradition Vajra Yogini Tantra and Dakini Tantra practice, we went through these steps. to understand how the brain works and to develop the brain, and then get into the deeper practices of Vajra Yogini Tantra. And that is why before getting into Dakini practices and Vajra Yogini Tantra practices, it's good to do this as a foundation, because a strong foundation means a strong house. So the body is a temple, and this temple needs a good strong foundation of Tantra, so that we can invoke the divinities and awaken the Kul Kundalini Shakti and play with it. So that is why we are doing this in foundation course. So do you want to talk about the structure of the course and how we are arranging this offering?
Yes. So it will be starting on the 26th of April, 4 Saturdays in a row. And these Saturdays will be quite intense because we will have the live sessions. During the live sessions, we will have both theoretical, but it is very, very practical, because we will be meeting online, connecting online, and making sure that we go through the practices online together. So this is a highly practical course, and we will have 4 Saturdays where we will be doing the practices together, so that you can continue with the daily practice and ask relevant question for the Saturday that is upcoming. So that's basically the structure of this course. Live sessions, practicing together, and then practicing daily for yourself, everybody in their own space and place, and then meeting next Saturday to talk about that, ask questions, and then go through new material.
And of
So
course, participants can ask a question in between the week also, and we would be available for answering it
Yeah.
as and when possible, based on time, place, and circumstances.
Yes. And when we are having courses, obviously we are available as per time, place, and circumstance. There might be something that's special or extra that we want to be sharing during that time also, depending on what is best for all of the participants. During this time, you get to meet us and we get to meet you. We get to connect and we get to know you in different ways based on what you are saying and how you are communicating, what you are asking, what we are answering. We have seen that when we hold courses, it is a great journey. It is a very, very interesting journey for the participants and for us, because all of the questions are answered in real time, unless it's during email and all of that, but in real time based on the current time, place, and circumstance, directed towards you and what you are asking. So, who is this course for?
At the outset, anybody who is curious about reality, who wants to know the mysteries of the reality as it is, wants to know the truth, wants to uncover the deeper layer of one's mind, this course is for that. Somebody who wants to develop focus, somebody who wants to develop concentration, somebody who wants to improve the grasping power and memory, all of that is relevant for this course. And somebody who wants to do Tantra practice, then this course is extremely relevant, because these time tested practices of Siddhas to develop the brain and mind, so that one can approach any Tantra practice or any spiritual practice gracefully and in an empowered way. This is a foundation for all such practices. So it's very important for any spiritual practitioner. Somebody who wants to get into Dakini practices, Vajra Yogini Tantra practices, it is even more important, because Vajra Yogini Tantra is a vast universe in itself. And to approach such a great universe, which is even greater than Mahavidyas, we talk about Kali, Tara, Chinnamasta, Baglamukhi, Bhuvaneshwari, different devis as 10 Mahavidyas. But Vajra Yogini Tantra is Parama Vidya, is much, much greater than even Mahavidyas. Many Mahavidyas, many devis and goddesses and tantras are implicit in Vajra Yogini Tantra. So when one talks about Vajra Yogini Tantra, one doesn't just talk about one set of practice, one talks about a set of universes of practices and goddesses and deities and philosophies and practices around them. So it's a vast universe, and to approach such a vast universe, one needs a vast mind, a great mind, a Maha mind, or Mahamastishk that we call. That's what Nara Khecara Dhyan Prayog is about, to develop that great mind.
And in this course, we want participants that are wanting to experiment. So there might be courses that we hold that are more theoretical and informational, where one sits and listen and all of that. But in this course, we want people who want to test these practices on themselves with good intent and zeal, to actually see what it does to your brain, mental state, and all of that. So it's for experimenting people, people who love to experiment, people who want to see, people who want to do the job and see where it leads.
Yeah, practices
Yes.
are meant for practicing.
Yes.
So come and practice
Yes.
and see for yourself.
And see for yourself, exactly. And so, in addition to who this might be for, we have talked about people who want to improve their cognition or memory and things like that. So it can also be both sides. It can be you want to increase something from a normal state, but it can also be that you are under the normal. You feel that you have trouble to concentrate, or you feel like you have trouble to focus or memorizing things. You're forgetful. So it's both sides of the thing, from the so-called norm upwards, but also from below normal, wanting to feel like you can handle reality and the day-to-day. So yes, we are directing us to people who are interested in Tantra practices, but this specific course, because it's so practical, if you want to give yourself 4 weeks at least of like a boot camp for the mind, to give yourself the space and the chance to work under guidance, practice and train under guidance, and see how you can improve the mind. Because we are living in a world with a lot of distractions, a lot of responsibilities that people have, and people also have certain traumas and certain issues that they are dealing with. Cognitive issues it can be also. So it is a chance to improve that.
We remember when we started learning practices of Dakini and Vajra Yogini Tantra in Siddha Dharma tradition, we were very much grateful to receive this precious gem of Nara Khecara Vajra Dhyan Prayog that we are offering now. And this empowered us in a way that cannot be explained right now. But it is a very important practice and has helped us in our practices, and that is why we think it is very relevant for you to do this practice, so that you can journey along with us in this vast universe of Dakini practices and Vajra Yogini Tantra practice.
Will this course run again?
We are not really sure when we will be offering this course again.
And so just like with the Dakini Dream Yoga course, there were many participants, but there were also many participants that could not join exactly at that time. So yes, the courses will run again, because obviously we understand that it's time, place and circumstance, but we don't know exactly when, because we have to also focus a little bit on the courses that are upcoming. And we want to give all of our focus on that. So we start with these courses, join this one, and you can start from here. And of course, there is much more information on the course website in the FAQ section. So check that out, read it through, so that you get an understanding of what is to come when you join this course. And if you have any questions or want to share something, reach out to us. There is a contact form there where you can ask your questions and we will respond gladly. Welcome.